What is going on, everybody? It's your boy Aaron B, and I got my guy Shane in the building. How's it going?
That beat always goes hard. I swear. Like I don't know like who. I think you bought the beat from somebody. I don't know who it is, but I dig that.
Yeah,
It sounds like a drum line.
it really does. It does. It gets you hype and stuff, ready for the show. You could have a rough day, but when you hear that theme song, your mood instantly changes.
Did you? I'm curious. Did you stay up late to watch the Cowboys game on Saturday?
Uh, I try to most of the time, but my 30-year-old age is hitting, so I was trying to struggle to that last fourth quarter, but I didn't get to see the last
Please,
part.
please. I have a child and I stayed up and watched that game.
Maybe it's just me. So don't
So
know my
good.
age. Yeah,
So
it's
good.
just me.
Tell the folks what we doing today.
Yeah, speaking of energy, so we have a new sponsor, W Energy, seeking a energy boost without the jitters, crash, or sugars, and the artificial additives are empty calories. Try W Energy, made from whole coffee, Arabic fruits, packed with vitamins, amino acids, and natural caffeine to support blood flow and brain function and muscle recovery. Use promo code touchdowns to save 10% off on 37s of this clean, efficient energy. W Energy. Go check them
hmm
out.
I've already used the promo code once, so appreciate them. Also, because I know anytime we use the promo code, that helps us out as well. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely. Yeah.
All right, so we're doing the roster projection today.
Yes, sir.
All right, so you want to start with offense, right? Because I know you like to go the traditional quarterback through special teams route, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Just
Okay,
want to go. Just want to go with the offense first. So
okay. So these are the guys I guess that you already consider as locks for the
yeah.
for the roster. How many names are already on there? Because I haven't actually looked at your sheet yet.
Okay. So I have 40. So I have
It's
13.
40.
Yeah. So 13
Okay.
spots.
Okay. So let's go quarterbacks first. So I mean, yeah, it's hard for me to see why they wouldn't keep all three quarterbacks. I also wouldn't be surprised if a team like maybe it's Minnesota, maybe it's Vegas, some team wants to trade for either one of Rush or Lance. I doubt it's Lance just because they would swallow $5 million in cap space if they traded him.
Yeah.
But Rush has some value. I think they keep three. I don't. I think they do keep three.
Yeah. Unless there's a good deal coming in for like a draft pick or something. I don't. I think there's gonna be three. So
Okay.
what you think about Lance this last game though?
Much better. I still
Okay.
think he missed some key throws. I in terms of like overall quarterback grades, I gave it a B, but for improvement, I give him credit. And I thought in terms of like where he was, that's definitely a level improvement. I still would have Rush as the back quarterback, but you liked what he did. He was a lot better with ball control. He was a lot better at flowing the so that's positive.
And then he's definitely been good with his legs and stuff. He's gonna definitely be a guy that's gonna get us prepared for games like when we play against the Ravens stuff
I agree.
in those practices. So Lance has a,
Yeah.
a position on this team.
We
So
don't have
what?
to we don't have to dwell too much. We don't have to dwell too much on the quarterbacks, especially with the contract stuff going on. That's just gonna make me angry. Let's just go on to the next.
I get what you say. So we'll get
Okay,
into
so one of the backs. I they Lupke I think has secured a spot on this team as the fullback. I think this is more about do they keep four, right? Do they
yeah.
keep the back? And the problem is like they just lack like a true number one. I think they really do want to go for more of a like a committee by approach running back. And I think with the way they built the offensive line, which we'll get to in a second, it's allowed them to be a little more free with the running back room, especially because the route of okay, we had to get rid of Zeke, we had to let Tony Pollard, not Parker, that's later, walk because we need to stop spending so much money on the running backs. So from that aspect, I get it. The only running back that I can think of that they have that gives them a different dimension than the what they already have with these guys is Deuce Vaughn. He was solid in his last game. He averaged 7 yards per carry, which ain't bad. I know a lot of people are down on him. He's like, well, he's 5'5", 5'6", 180, whatever. But that burst and that versatility as a receiver, a runner, and even in makes him kind of valuable for that. And so I don't know. Are you on the Royce Freeman train, or what do you think?
I like Royce Freeman, but I just didn't see something like, okay, this is got to be our guy no matter what. I'm like, what if there's some guy out there after in the waiver wires that's maybe better than Royce Freeman? That's what I kind of look at.
Or trade. They could also trade for somebody. There's gonna be some guys that are gonna be like released that come in and can be for snaps or even like trade partners, especially as we get closer to the season. Plus, does Royce Freeman really do anything that they don't already have in Rico Dowdle or Zeke? I mean, is there?
No, not really. He got Zeke that plays with power,
Okay.
and then you got a guy that does the one cuts with Rico, but you don't have that guy that could be that home run hitter. That's what this team is lacking at a running back.
Yeah, I agree. All right, so we can add. I guess we can go ahead and add Deuce there,
Yeah,
and that'll bring the running back room to 4.
I can add. We got Deuce. So now we're getting to the receivers. So
I think you and I might actually argue a little bit on this one.
probably.
Because I think there's gonna be guys that I like and guys that maybe you're like, oh, I like this guy a little better. But I'm not really thinking it more along the lines of what I think they would do. So first off, Turpin is gonna be the return guy, so I would already have him on that list.
Yeah.
The thing is like when I think beyond their top 5 guys, because I think they're gonna keep Jalen Brooks because they like him. He's had a good camp. He had that one really good play in the first preseason game with Cooper Rush, and then he's been kind of quiet since then. They haven't really played him a whole lot. They really let the other receivers come in, and the fact that they've really given him less snaps tells me they want to save him for the season because they expect him to be a contributor. So I think those 5 are definitely on the team. Under Mike McCarthy, you can go back to his Packers days. He typically keeps 6 to 7 receivers. The problem is there a 6th receiver that has like done enough, deserves that 6th spot? You know. By the way, there's 4 names out of the running backs. By the way, you put 3.
My bad.
Come on, man, you got glasses and everything.
Yeah, that's that part.
I don't know. If they had to keep a 6th guy, where are you going?
Honestly, from what I've seen last game, I would between Flournoy or I want to say Cropper, but it just
I love Cropper.
There were just some inconsistencies in some of the games. I was like,
he's been showing up in these practices.
Yeah,
just hadn't shown up in the games.
Yeah.
The thing about Flournoy is like one thing the Cowboys like to do. They like to keep the draft picks, but they're not scared always to move on from 6th and 7th round picks. So
that's true.
And plus, I think that 6th guy, you want someone who is a reliable special teams guy who can play receiver. And when I look at where they are now based on practices, because I think about practices and the games, the guy I think that fits that mold the best, and I don't think he's the 6th best receiver they have, but I think for what they fit, I'm thinking of someone like a Racey McMath. Because he's an experienced special teams player. He's had some moments as a receiver in these games. And even though I would say Flournoy has a higher ceiling, especially as like a deep threat type receiver, Cropper I think it would be a good slot fill in. I don't know. I feel like Racey McMath fits that 6th spot. I know it's tough though because I love Cropper, but I feel like the more likelihood would be either Flournoy or McMath, so it's hard to pick which one would be there. I just feel like they're not going to keep 5. They're going to keep 6. It doesn't make sense that they would just keep 5.
Yeah, I definitely get what you're saying, and McMath makes the most sense at that 6th spot because when you're thinking your 6th best receiver, you're looking at a guy can he play special teams and which one does play the special team the best?
If he's active,
yeah,
he could be a game day inactive.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a good handful of games where the 6th guy is going to be inactive because you want other positions open. You may have 4 receivers active one game or maybe 5. It all depends on what the situation is who you're playing. So
I agree.
I'm kind of leaning towards McMath and Flournoy, but honestly, I think it'll be McMath just due to the fact of the special team value.
I think Flournoy would be a preferred special practice squad guy, but yeah, I would lean McMath.
Yeah. Hey, when it comes to a lot of these projections, not a lot of teams are looking at McMath on the team, from what I've seen.
No, but like you and I pay attention to their trends and what they like to do, and this just kind of fits that mold. Yeah. Tight ends. Okay, so first off, if they keep running backs, are they keeping 4 tight ends? Like, is that a position they can afford to go heavy at? Because to me, tight ends is typically 3 people. If you go 4, that to me means they're going heavy.
I think they're leaning towards 3 because they've been talking about Lukey being in some like H-back type of roles. So having 4 tight ends doesn't make a lot of sense in that situation to me.
I know they like Brevin Spann but like I haven't really seen a lot of him. They gave him a lot of guaranteed money, the most guaranteed money out of all their undrafted free agents, but that doesn't necessarily guarantee him a spot. It just meant they were giving him a lot of looks. Princeton Fant has looked better than he has in a lot of stuff, but they like John Stevens. I think they like John Stevens, and he struggled early on in the practices coming back from that injury, but he's really come along more a little bit as a blocker. He seems to like figure some of that stuff out. He's obviously an effective receiver, and right. Obviously, aside from Ferguson, aside from Schoonmaker, like it was really open season for like who would be that third guy. Because I don't think they're going to keep 4 guys. It might be later on in the season that they keep a 4th tight end, but initially, I think it's 3. And by the way, you put 3 above wide receivers. There's 6 guys there, and I think that my bet would be Stevens. I don't know. Are you on the Henderson train still? What do you think?
Oh no, Stevens Jr. is the guy for that tight end 3 spot. I think when it comes to Spanford, he's gonna be a high priority practice squad guy that they want to
absolutely
keep. Yeah, after giving him that much money and just his chances of being something, I think they're still there. It just hasn't panned out so far, but I think they could keep him on the practice squad, and it wouldn't be that. So we're getting to the offensive line. So how many offensive line do you think rolling? I have 7 right now.
I can't see them keeping less than 9, but I don't know. So you have 7 right there. I would add Awesome Richards because they've had him playing a lot of spots. He's really looked solid at guard. He's even played a little solid at tackle at moments, and so I would have him in there. Shumai Doga is going to be interesting. Like if they decide to put him on IR to start the season, because that would mean he would miss more time than if he was on the active roster for a day, then sent to IR, which would be short term. But if they think the injury is going to last a little bit longer, it might be beneficial just to put him on IR to start. There's not a whole lot of depth. I really wonder if like that 9th guy is actually on this roster, or if he's on some other team. Because right away, I look at the depth and I don't see a second right tackle.
I don't.
And my thoughts are that Matt Waletzko would be the logical next right tackle, but I don't think he makes the team. I don't think him makes the team. I don't think Josh Ball makes the team. That's why I think the 9th offensive lineman is going to be like an unknown. I think it's going to be like a position, but I don't know. Like, I don't know. Make the case for somebody else.
Yeah, when I'm thinking about Waletzko and Ball, none of these guys are moving the needle for me. Like I'm ready to move on from those guys. I haven't seen anything since they've been here. I don't know how long Ball's been on this team. I don't know what he has.
He was drafted at the same draft as Micah, so I guess this would be his 4th year. This would be his 4th year, and he's been more of a liability than anything else.
Yeah, you could look at training camp where he's making a lot of these guys look good on the defense. I'm like, it's time to move on from Ball and just figure something out. There's got to be some guy out there that's a free agent or is going to be on waiver wires, and you can pick him up.
It would have to be a free agent just because like teams don't really typically look good offensive linemen because they're in short supply. Yeah. I have to imagine like we'll probably see like those lists before the season comes out of like the top free agent offensive linemen available, because they can't go into the season not having a backup right tackle. Because right now they're if Steele goes down, Guyton would be the logical right tackle, but they don't want to move him from the left side. That would hurt his development. So I think they keep 9. I just don't think all 9 are on this team right now.
Yeah. Should we just leave that spot open, or should we just throw insert?
Just put like a question mark, just because like I think they're going to keep 9. They go light on offensive linemen.
Let me see. I'm over here. Sure. Okay, we'll put that, and then we're going to put 9.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll get it right this time. I don't know, math ain't been my best subject, but
Yeah,
I
you also forgot to put 3 inside the tight ends.
yeah,
I don't think it's math. I think it's just computer skills.
yeah.
Okay.
That too.
Okay, so right away that is
Our
25,
segment.
25 offensive players. So now we're going to head to the defensive segment.
Yes, our defense segment is SeatGeek. Life's an event. We got tickets. Football is on its way. Well, football is already here. Concert, games, and more. Why don't you use promo code Tacos Touchdowns for $20 off your first purchase? Because hey, everybody's trying to save a nickel or dime here. Why don't you use that to get you to some concerts or some football games? So let's get into this defense. This is the fun part, I think, to me, is that what it's been a lot of positive when it came to the defense
Okay,
overall.
so right away I saw that you designated Micah as an edge,
Yeah.
and you put Golston as both a tackle and an edge, right?
Yeah, I kind of put him in that
Okay.
tweener type of role.
So I would go ahead and put in Shaq Lawson and on the edges just because I think he's for the rest of the guys there, he's definitely one of the better in game. But I do think the fact that they waited this long to sign him, I think eventually he is going to make the team. The thing that's interesting about the edges though is that Micah has practiced a lot of Mike also, so he kind of transfers between that and linebacker, just like the way Golson plays both edge and tackle. I would also because they can't keep 3 pure edge rushers because Micah is both, and Golston would be the guy. I just don't think they can afford to go light there. They also, if you go by the list based on the positions, they only have 3 defensive tackles on there, and I think Justin Rogers has looked good. I don't know how you feel about him. The 7th round pick out of Auburn.
Yeah, from what we got him at, like he's been really solid. So
He has.
yeah, I was leaving that spot open, just seeing how we were going to work on this defense.
I think he's done enough to make this team. I don't know if he'll make really much of a year 1 impact, but I think he's done enough to make this team.
Yeah, he may get a couple snaps during the season, but I got the rookies in italic, so
Yeah,
you see him in a weird font. So
that's fine. It's just the problem is whenever you add these up, are you going to consider Golston an edge or a defensive tackle because we have the numbers above the edge, the positions.
we'll put him at we'll put him at edge for right now.
Yeah. Okay.
Let me see.
I also Al Kadimo pretty good the other night. I just don't know if he's done enough to make this team.
Yeah, when they added Lawson, that's where I had him on one of my 53 man, but now they got Lawson. I'm like, I think they're gonna lean towards more Lawson.
I'm okay with those 5. I think those 5 edges probably make the most sense. And right now, I can't think anyone outside of those other 4 defensive tackles. So I'm fine keeping those the way they are, just because I have a feeling they probably add somebody later on also. But like outside of those guys, no one else has really done anything to make the team. Now taking Parsons as an edge, you look over the linebackers. I think they keep more than 4. Just because last year they made that mistake of trusting other guys with position flex to play linebacker, and that bit them in the butt. And I wonder if that last linebacker comes down to Willie Harvey Jr., the guy from the UFL, or Buddy Johnson, the second year out of Texas A&M, because those 2 guys have got a lot of work with the first and second team. I think one of those guys makes the team.
Yeah, it's between those 2. I haven't really seen anything from. You've seen a couple of plays here and there from other guys, but I think that's the 2 you're looking at between Buddy Johnson and Harvey.
Yeah. I think you might have more upside with Harvey.
I agree.
I think Johnson has made a little fewer mistakes, but I think you've had more splash plays from Harvey. So I think, I don't know. What do you think?
This team is known to lean a little bit towards those UFL guys, so I feel like they'll go with Harvey in that type of case. So you want to lock Harvey in for the 5th spot?
I would put Harvey there.
Right.
Now the cornerbacks. Okay. So are you considering CJ Goodwin a special teamer or a cornerback? Just because I think he's John Faust's guy. I think he's gonna make this team.
Yeah, I would have more of a special team on this role, so I'll put him right here.
Okay. Well, those four right there are your special teamers. So you can go ahead and like solidify that one.
We got that right there. So
okay.
So
man, you are messing up with his computers. You put a 5 outside the parentheses. Come on, man.
Let me show you. This is how I got these big old hands and I got my little keyboard. That's why I'm struggling.
Excuses. Right? Okay, so for cornerbacks, I have a little bit of a surprise. The problem is I want to keep Israel Mukuamu. I just don't know if they designate him as a cornerback or a safety because he's played a lot of corner. But they also really like Julius Wood, the undrafted free agent out of Nevada, I believe. He's played really good, and I don't think he's one of those guys you can like hit the waiver wire and won't be picked up. I think he's played really, really solid. What I would do is I would designate Izzy as a corner, as the 5th corner, and I would put Wood as the 5th safety. But what do you think?
Yeah, you gotta figure out a way to have Wood on this team because I think they learned a lot from when they left Isaiah Land. They thought they were going to pick him up, and you don't want to lose that another time.
And if Julius Wood is listed as a safety, that makes 53. Yeah. So that would be your 53. But you got to type.
So now we got. So we literally just got the 53-man roster. Do you think there's in a world where one of these safeties might be in trade looks like, a Wilson or stuff because you got these young talent players?
I could see them moving off of Wilson just because he would be a $5 million cap. You can have someone like a Marquise Bell fill that role. Just like Wanye Thomas has could do the same thing from Lee Cooker. He's been really good, especially getting run support. I just don't know if Mike Zimmer wants to move off the veteran guys just yet, because even though I think Bell and Thomas are coming along really nicely.
Yeah.
So that's our 53. What do you think?
Yeah, I like this roster. I just want to figure out who's going to be that 9th spot at offensive line. And
that's the thing. I really do believe it's going to be like the Jason Peters type where it's like signed later on.
Yeah. Is Jason Peters still trying to play?
I think he's with Seattle, but it doesn't matter. It ain't going to be him. I'm saying like what I mean is like it would be just like a street guy who can play right tackle.
Yeah, absolutely. So this has been our 53-man roster. Before I let you go, bro, what do you got going on in your life right now?
My life has been busy with iHeart as well as Believe in Texas Tech podcast. More episodes to come out. I've also been really busy with For the Numbers. So I have been round the clock on this stuff, and I'm always trying to make time for my guy Aaron. But again, as we get closer and closer, we're not just going to have strictly Cowboys content for y'all, but this was definitely something we had last year. We wanted to keep going with. So keep looking out for us.
Yes, sir. And I just dropped the article for Hook'em Headlines on Ethan Burke, so definitely be on the lookout for that. And we're gonna have some great content coming for y'all in the near future when it comes to football. It's here, and there's gonna be a lot to talk about. But this has been Tacos and Touchdowns. Y'all have a good one. Peace.